Time now for the evening rush. A man wants to take back his guilty plea after being convicted of raping and murdering 11-year-old Ashlyn Mike in San Juan County. Tom Begay claims he is developmentally disabled and says he did not know what he was doing when he took that guilty plea 2 years ago. He's now asking for a new hearing and a lesser charge.
Weather headlines for tomorrow, similar to what we had today. We have scattered afternoon storms on the way. We will have gusty storm-driven winds, meaning that we'll see some winds come out of these storms, and we could see gusts over 50 miles per hour in really spots that are, like for today, we're right in the metro area, and then the best storm coverage will be across the east.
An Iraqi refugee who came to New Mexico is being given a second chance. In 2017, ICE instructed Kadim Abu Mohammed to turn himself in for missing a deportation hearing, but instead he took sanctuary in an Albuquerque church for 2 years. Today his case was reopened, protecting him from deportation for now.
New Mexico border communities could soon get help housing migrants. The U.S. Senate has approved bipartisan legislation that provides $4.6 billion. Some of that would help communities that are housing migrants. They hope to get legislation to the president's desk by the July 4th deadline.
New video shows a man in a scuffle with Albuquerque police.
Let go of me. Where's your car? Let go of me. He's going on again. Let go.
Police were called to this Walmart in April to get Jacob Salas out of the parking lot. They tried to negotiate, but he took off running. 5 officers chased him through the store. They eventually tackled him and arrested him.
The ACLU is asking the DOJ to investigate a local judge. They say Judge Daniel Ramchek denied a deaf woman her right to an interpreter in court and claimed that she lied about not being able to understand him. The ACLU is now asking all Metro Court staff to be trained in ADA rights.
Neighbors in one Albuquerque community say they are still experiencing a homeless problem in their neighborhood. This despite New Chemo Park on San Mateo off I-40 closing last year. Now the problem is across from Freedom High School and New Future School. APS is requesting the city vacate the cul-de-sac next to Freedom High so they can take it over and put up a fence.
Firefighters continue to battle the Pine Lodge fire in the Lincoln National Forest near Capitan. It's still 5% contained and has grown now to more than 12,000 acres. That fire has destroyed 2 cabins and a vehicle and threatens others. Officials are scheduled to give an update tomorrow.
New Mexico Congresswoman Deb Haaland is working with Republicans and Democrats on the Remove the Stain Act, which would rescind the Medals of Honor for those who fought in Wounded Knee. 18 men who fought in the 1890 Wounded Knee massacre were awarded the medals.
The Dexter School Board is coming up with a drug test policy that will be discussed at their next board meeting. It would require students involved in extracurricular activities to sign a testing consent form at the beginning of the year. Testing would be random unless there is reasonable suspicion.
Sandia National Labs will now be able to help more small businesses. New legislation doubles the cap on the value of services to the labs offers to businesses, jumping from $10,000 to $20,000. This is through the New Mexico Small Business Assistance Program.
Bernalillo County's new headquarters will have a new name. This comes after commissioners decided to name the name Bernalillo County Government Center was not interesting enough, so they've settled on the name Bernalillo County at Alvarado Square. The $45.7 million project is expected to be completed by February of 2021.
The Metro Threat Index for Thursday goes up to a 4. The main reason for that being that we're going to have some scattered afternoon thunderstorms around. It will be windy at times and we'll hang on to the haze.
Right now, U.S. Forest Service officials are in the Carson National Forest searching for a tree grand enough for the Capitol. The tree will hold thousands of handmade ornaments from New Mexico. They hope to find the tree by the end of the week. They will cut it down in November.
Coach Greg Jackson says he will be spreading the word about local brands and businesses while in Las Vegas for both the John Bones Jones fight and the Holly Holm UFC fight. It's part of the coach's New Mexico Experience campaign. The campaign will now include New Mexico United, Taos Ski Resort, and other businesses.
As 2 firefighters continue to recover, more than $4,000 will help cover their hospital expenses. This comes after a fundraiser was held at the UFO McDonald's in Roswell. Both firefighters Jeff Strobel and Hobie Bonham continue to improve.
Fire officials are warning people not to leave their campfires burning. This comes after Santa Fe National Forest officials say they found more than 45 abandoned fires last weekend alone. They say one last week in the Jemez Ranger District. grew into a 2-acre wildfire before crews put it out. They say never leave your campsite until that fire is completely extinguished.
The city of Las Cruces could be one of the nicest places in America. Reader's Digest considering Las Cruces along with 50 other cities for the title. Several Las Cruces residents submitted stories on why they felt their community should be highlighted. People can vote over the next month. Find details at KRQE.com.
Kids attending Camp Kirtland at the Air Force Base are taking home what they learned at camp. The camp is for children of service members stationed on base. For a week, Kirtland has been hosting fun activities with the community.